You've got to look at your journey as OCD as not an obstacle to your life, but a stepping stone to your future, a stepping stone to empowering your life. Think of it as the thing that's going to open those mental doors in your head that's going to change the direction of your life, not away from your goals, but around the obstacles that you would have been stuck at before had you not seen this. Because until I saw and learnt all about OCD and anxiety recovery, I wouldn't have been able to think of the ways of the directions in my life and overcome so many obstacles, because my belief system was so rigid and black and white. It kept me trapped and locked away from that. So you've got to use that, because look, when I was stuck, I used to literally sit there going, and look, I don't like to swear in videos because I think usually I do swear sometimes in videos, in a lot of videos, because I think, oh, it's not a problem. But I do also at the same time think if you're going to explain a point and you need to swear, you don't know how to explain the point well enough. And in this situation, I do need to swear to demonstrate the point. And the point being that when I used to be really stuck with OCD, it used to feel like banging my head against the wall. And I used to in my head just think, fucking hell, if only I hadn't had this fucking life, this one thing, if only I hadn't had that one thing, my life would be like this, like how I want it to be. And the problem with that is that mental block, that thing I was saying with only this one thing. Well, that's what OCD is always going to do. And of course, OCD is not the disorder you want, and it is difficult and challenging until we know how to get better. But the thing is, those were mental barriers, and I was keeping myself trapped in that position all the time with that. I'm never going to fucking get over this. This is the worst fucking thing I could have ever had in my life. How could this happen to me? How unfortunate this is. Oh, I can't stand it. Oh, I wish I was before I had OCD. Oh, I wish I wasn't even here. These things, that's the depth of it. When I'm speaking on these videos now, people don't see it because I'm talking pretty calmly and sort of rationally about the journey, but it was a hell where I felt squashed right like that all the time, and my head felt like that. And when I used to go to the gym and work out, I used to want to fight it, and I used to lift the weights sort of thinking I'm going to get myself stronger and stronger to escape, which was doing the opposite, because what I was doing was fighting it. You can't fight it because that's the problem. You've got to learn to accept it and be at peace with it. And I was very angry and I was very anxious, and I just couldn't see any way around it, and I was beating myself up harder and harder and harder. Where did that get me? Didn't do anything. But what happened is, after a while, I realized I wasn't getting anywhere with any of that. And I had to start moving towards acceptance and changing my perspectives on life. And then that motivated me in a healthy way of what do I want to do? What do I want to achieve? And how am I going to go and do that? But at the same time, focused, laser focused, but at the same time, inside, I was taking it one day at a time. I realized I wasn't going to get recovered instantly. I realized this might take a while, and I allowed it to take a while whilst being focused on what I was doing. And that was key. People think anger, this is a really nonsense thing that people think, and Albert Ellis really highlighted this in the 70s, saying that anger is the one emotion that people so much want to cling on to and hold on to. So much they want it. But no one enjoys it. I don't enjoy being really angry. I don't enjoy that feeling. I'm not talking about sort of kind of light, healthy anger, where if I'm going into the gym, lifting weights or on a boxing or whatever, I don't think to myself, oh, I hate that kind of anger, where you're really getting in the mood. I'm talking about the anger where you think, oh, I can't stand this. And I'm trying to do the body language to demonstrate it so that you can see and feel what I'm saying here. You know, when I used to speak to my mum when I was 17 to 21, talking about OCD, and she used to say, it's like you're banging your head against a wall because you just can't stop that cycle. I said, that's exactly how it is. That's how it feels. You know, I used to be so angry with OCD, and I used to smash doors in my house, not all the time, when sort of angry outbursts, when I just couldn't take it anymore, because it was so... What it used to do was it used to, as we know, it repeats the word over and over, or the fear you're scared of so much over and over and over and over and over. So when it was harm OCD, it was like, you don't even deserve to live. You don't even deserve to be happy. You don't even deserve a second to breathe. You don't even deserve a second to relax. And then it was that internal torture cycle. And then with sensory motor, it was that, but it felt like a sort of that in a sort of machine gun format, where it was because you couldn't kind of escape sensory motor. Some of the others, you could use some kind of avoidance tactics to get around it. Now, obviously, OCD morphs around those, but with sensory motor, there was no way to sort of duck and weave and get around it, because it wouldn't allow that, because it was in your head with that sort of mental constraint over and over and over and over and over. So that wasn't very good.